All right, we are live. Hello, everybody.
Hey, hey everyone.
Welcome to the sixth episode of our podcast. Welcome to our channel. Um, there is no one watching yet, but I believe there will be more people joining us later. But yeah, man. Dan, how's it going? How's the
Hey,
new year been for you? Like, have you been very busy?
busy. I mean, I'm still in the holiday mode. Lah. Going back to my first week back at work. Yeah. So,
Mm.
yeah, lah. New Year's was good. I had a good time. And
Mm.
then, yeah, I had spent time with my friends, my family, the usual stuff.
Mm.
Lah.
Mm.
Then fireworks, that sort of stuff. What about you?
Really?
Yeah, there are certain places in Singapore where there were fireworks, so you could see from my area. So
Okay.
yeah lah. So we did like a countdown in
That's
my
cool. That's
friend's
cool.
place.
No, because
Yeah,
like
man.
I'm based in Brunei. We are not
Uh-huh.
allowed to. We are not allowed to have fireworks.
Oh,
We
wow.
have some kind of some kind of order and rules that don't allow us to, have fireworks, and only the authorities or certain people
Mm-hmm.
will actually organize like events that will then have fireworks and all that. So they have the authority to
I see.
play it. And when they do it,
Mm-hmm.
it's like big. Like when they have like a launch of something, and they'll do have fireworks. But for the people like us, like the mere people, we are not
Mm.
we are not allowed to have any fireworks or play fireworks, or even the small ones.
Yeah.
It's banned in Brunei. Yeah,
Ban
so
so no one sells them also lah.
no one sells them. Yeah, yeah, no one sells them. It used to be like people used to sell, and
Mm-hmm.
um it's because the laws were not clear about it, like about selling fireworks, and like if you should
Oh, okay.
sell or not. But I think ultimately or eventually they decided, they just banned due to safety, etc., etc. But that is one of the many things that they control here, lah. So
Brunei has a lot of like crazy laws, right?
yeah, yeah, they have like some interesting laws where, I mean, for me, like, I mean, being an expat here in Brunei, it's not a big deal in that sense, because
Yeah.
as long as don't go against, as long as don't, it's quite basic, as long as you don't do any crazy stuff, anything that's
Mm.
extreme, you just go to work, do your stuff, hang out, chill, go home, the usual
Mm.
lifestyle should be
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
You go play your football, futsal. I think nothing too extreme from that, lah.
But it
But
doesn't affect you much lah, I guess. Is it?
no, yeah, no, not like somehow some people, like how the media portrays it, like like certain celebrations are not allowed and all that. You can celebrate, it's just that it is not promoted, like how, like
Mm-hmm.
Chinese New Year, right? In Like if you go everywhere when it's Chinese New Year right now, I'm sure in Singapore it's like they're already
Yeah, yeah.
setting it up, right? Like setting up the deco and all that. But for in Brunei, like certain celebrations are kind of like it's not being promoted. You can celebrate it, just that you have to celebrate it in your own house, lah, like your own place.
Correct.
You celebrate it there. Yeah, you're not allowed to go out, and have your deco, and the malls are not allowed to be. I mean, you cannot have like a flash sale due to this festive season
Mm.
and all that, lah. Yeah, so
Oh, okay, okay.
they control it in an interesting way, but there's always there's always a way to celebrate it, and people still celebrate it at home, and they have their barbecue and all that. So for us, like, if you're having like a not an extreme lifestyle, or you're having a business that really relies on certain festivity, eh,
Mm-hmm.
I think it should be okay for you. Just do whatever you need to do. So it's pretty standard.
Oh,
But I know the media
okay. I see.
portrays certain
Yeah,
thing
the
is extreme.
media like just what exaggerates everything, right? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so it's like have to take it with a pinch of salt lah. Because I know
Yeah.
it because even like pork, right? Like pork, if you makan babi,
Mm.
so they say like in Brunei, like pork is banned.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how the Filipinos here are gonna survive, man? You know. So there's so many Filipinos here. There are so many restaurants that sell pork, and it's not illegal. So when my friends came over, they're like, "Hey, bro, like, I heard pork is banned here, lah, like legit." I told them like, "Where did you hear this, man? It's not that kind of place, lah. It's not to that
Okay.
extreme." So, but the media
Okay.
did. So the media portrays these things as extreme, like, "Oh, Brunei is the place where you cannot do these things. You cannot find
Yep.
these things and all that."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's not true. Well, I've been here for
Okay.
a while now. Yeah.
Are
But
you
anyway,
like? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Go
Okay.
ahead. Yeah.
Lah. No,
Go
no,
ahead.
no.
Go ahead.
let's carry on to the football.
All right,
So
man. Yeah,
a
we
lot
got
of
a few
things to
things
talk
to talk
about.
about today.
What's up?
Yeah,
Yeah.
got quite a number of things to talk about. Quite interesting lah. Um, um, Let me just quickly like summarize what we're going to talk about. I think we're going to touch on a few things. Number one is of course with Ralph and
Mm.
what can he achieve? I think that's the right question. What can he achieve in the
Okay.
next 4 months? 4 to 5 months. Like it's already
Okay.
January. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
4 to 5 months, and what can he really achieve in the context of the kind of performances we are doing now, and we just lost the other day. So that's the first.
Yeah.
The other things that we're going to be touching upon is basically um, um, FCon as well. We're going to
Okay.
I think we're going to do a few shout outs on who are the players that you think will stand out in FCon,
Okay.
and who do
Sure.
you think like will become might become like a player of the tournament and stuff. I think this tournament is a tournament actually I'm looking forward to, because I think
Oh.
there's like a exponential increase of like top quality African players right now. Like everyone is from Africa, like Mares, the Hakimi, all these guys, and I did not know that that these guys are from, like, Morocco is part of the Africa continent. Like it was not obvious. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's going to
That's
be
not
good
obvious.
lah. Yeah, yeah. So it's
Yeah.
going to be awesome. So AFCON is that, and then we want to also talk about like City. Like, I was just thinking about this recently, like how City is going to survive, because I do not think that Pep is going to stay for long. I think
Okay.
this might be his last season, for all you know, because everything,
Th-
because the
Thank God
way
lah.
Pep,
Okay.
you know,
Thank God. Yeah.
yeah, if he leaves, right, the question is, can City still be successful on the pitch, right? So that's the question. And then, of course, we want to touch on your team. You want to touch on Spurs and Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
We want to touch on if they are planning to purchase anyone, and like who are they looking at, and if they should purchase anyone, like buy anyone or even loan anyone. And
Okay.
Yeah, we will talk about Arsenal as well. And like Jasmine couldn't join us tonight. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we should touch on Arsenal. And
Okay.
I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like, let's see if there are any other topics where the viewers will be, or questions that they will be asking. So we will touch on that as we go. So first of all, let's talk about
Yeah.
Ralph and Ralph. So then, did you manage to
Oh,
watch any of the recent
I
performances or
I
what?
watched the Wolves game from start to finish.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Did you manage to see it?
Um, I watched I watched the second half. I watched the second half of the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Tell me, share
well,
me your thoughts on that.
okay, like the match was interesting, because you know, okay, like the first game against Crystal Palace, right? When like the
Mm.
our own group chat, right, was like blowing up, like on how
Yeah.
differently the team was playing, like everyone was talking about pressing and
Mm.
how much effort was being put to recover the ball, right? And like
Mm.
when I watched the Wolves game, none of that was happening, and it seemed as if
Mm.
like Wolves, right, were like outplaying United, like from just like the first minute to
Yep.
like the last. Actually there, I don't recall any point where like United had like this sort of like sustained pressure on like the Wolves goal.
Mm.
Actually, like who's
Mm.
their man in goal? Jose Sa. He had very little
Mm.
to do until the very end when he saved a free kick from Bruno. And yeah,
Yeah.
so like I it was like they've been like sort of like under the radar a little bit because they got a new
Mm.
manager,
Mm.
and the, I maybe like the results have not been favorable, but I think slowly, right, that there's slowly become an
Mm.
identity, and then like they really deserve their victory from the way that they played, because they really
Yep.
created a lot of opportunities for Daniel Podence. Who else? Chin Kao also. He also had a decent
Yep.
game. And then their
Mm. Mm.
man up front, Raul Jimenez, who I was like quite pleased to see
Mm.
Yeah, but other than that, I think like Wolves played the game very comfortably. Which should not happen at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm. And they did, and they got, and their goal was a good goal, a very nice volley by João Moutinho, which player which I
Oh
really like,
man.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he gives me the one mata vibes. Moutinho.
Well, he looks a bit like him. He's very
He
short.
has that same stature, that stock set, the
Yeah,
Isco kind of vibe,
yeah, but like I
like
think he's
very,
actually like
it's like
so.
a typical Spanish Portuguese kind of flavor, very typical.
Yeah, but I think he's like very very strong. He's much stronger than he looks. Yeah. But he's
Okay,
a
what do
player
you
that
mean?
I've
Like
always
what,
like.
physically?
No, like
Like
like for
physically or what?
example, like yeah, I think he's physically like strong. Like he's quite hard to
Mm,
like take him off the ball, and he's also a very good dribbler, lah. But his main asset is probably his passing, lah. So I it's a player that I've always admired, lah. And because like when
mm,
Villas Boas was at our club, he was linked to Spurs. So I obviously
mm,
went to like look him up. I think at the time he was at Porto, if I'm not wrong.
mm, mm, mm.
Yeah, then like then when he came to Wolves from Monaco, yeah, he's been like really doing well, and he's become like a leader of the
Mm.
Wolves team. Yeah. What did you like
Interesting,
make of
interesting.
the? What did you make of that game?
Oh man, like I actually I'm confused, bro, right now. I do not know what to do whenever I preview the game, or I try to, like, read, the tweets, and try to read some updates. I do not know what to make of United right now. Like, I
Okay,
think
like
I think we are
uh,
completely broken, lah. Like, yeah, go ahead.
really? Oh, no, like I think we must
Go ahead.
understand
Go
that
ahead.
these sort of results happen. Like whenever a new manager comes in, it's not always going to be smooth sailing. These kind of results, like
Yeah.
home losses, happen. But like the bare
Yeah.
minimum is the level of effort put into the game, and that wasn't there that night.
Mm. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, I'm confused. Like, we went from 100 to 0 right now. Like, okay, context, right? Like, before, when Ole got sacked, um
Correct.
we were crap, right? We were crap. like we were losing, and we were losing consecutively. Okay, and Ralph came. I think he not I think he did say that he did not get to, like train properly, and the practices were not full practices, and
Yeah.
and we had a COVID breakout, then we had to shut down the training complex, all those things lah. Um, but what I realized was like Crystal Palace, we only had like 45 minutes of training session, but
Mm.
we could see like, and Crystal Palace, they are not a mug, they're not mug. They are not someone like you can just simply, walk. You
Yeah.
go over to the place and just you're going to be a walk in the park. No. In fact, some of these mid-table teams, they actually play similarly. They like to sit back, and then they like to hit, on the break, those kind of things. But we managed to actually pressure them. We managed to counter press, and all that after 45 minutes of training session. Okay. Um,
Mm.
right after that, then the consecutive games, we saw like a totally different team. In fact, we looked like Solskjaer's team, right? But I could see that Ralph was not. He was not pleased. Like, although we won the game with Newcastle, was it Newcastle or Burnley? I can't remember which one.
I think Newcastle you
Three
drew,
one,
right?
right? Before, yeah, I think with Burnley we won 3-1 before the Wolves game. I saw, I could like honestly say that Ralph, although we won against Burnley, he was not happy with the way we performed, because everything that we did well ended in Crystal Palace. That right after Crystal Palace, like all the other games, nothing, bro. Like we didn't learn anything. Like, or I felt like the players they've forgotten everything that um Ralph actually taught them in the training session. It feels like the more training session they have, or they're having, the worse they becoming. No, so there's a pattern. The pattern is, um like what you say, right? There is no effort, number one, but number two is certain players like Bruno and Bruno. Okay, let's say Bruno and Sancho, right? They
Yeah.
look awful. They look awful. They're awful, awful. Like they look
Yeah.
like certain,
Actually, they
like
do.
there are some players at the back, at the back, right? Like the Maguire, or like, the Varane and all that. You would typically say, yeah. I mean, like Varane just got back from injury, blah blah blah, and then other like Luke Shaw, he didn't play certain matches, and now he's tried, he tries to like push up a little bit. Um, but for Bruno, who has been doing well in that sense, right? Like he's been trying to create chances and all that. He looked awful. Like the basics, even the basics, like bro, like going into space to get
Mm.
the ball. Let's say if like someone is in front of you, you would you cannot like you cannot get the ball. Like you trying to ask for the ball, your teammate will be
Yeah.
like, dude, you're behind him lah. How am I gonna pass the ball to you? You have to run into space, then I can get the ball to you. Even the basics like that, bro, like the pass and move, like come into space, everything was wrong. Everything looked, the basics looked like zero. Like when you watch United, right? Like if you didn't know that Ronaldo or Cavani or Sancho were playing, right, you probably think that we were like a, lower, lower half table team. Seriously, I think you would agree with me, right? Like we didn't look any good, like honestly. So I'm so confused right now. Like we look like we are like we look like we are not playing for the manager. Like we don't believe in the manager's tactics, or we are too tired to work on that, or we are not we think like he's just going to be a, interim manager, so I don't need to work for it. So I'm so confused. Like these are players who are probably getting one of the higher range in terms of salary,
Correct.
But they in the Premier League, not just in the club, but in the Premier League, how in the world do you think they are going on the pitch and they are performing like that, only to go home and say, hey, you know what, we are doing our best and blah blah blah. So I'm so confused. Like I do not know. I do not know what to feel right now.
Yeah,
Um.
but I think perhaps like maybe like on some level you are right lah, because Ralph's title is interim manager, right? So like
Mm,
basically I mean like that's basically the board of directors saying like, okay, this season is over, okay, let's just try to get into the Champions League and then like we build from
mm,
there. Right. I mean
mm.
his contract is only until the end of the season, right?
That's right. Only until the end of the season, and then after that, he will actually move to another position with
In
the
the club.
board to yeah in the club.
Okay. So that's
And
interesting, lah, because I didn't know that.
yeah, that's an
Okay.
interesting one. So he actually has a 2 year contract as a
Mhm.
footballing consultancy role um
Okay.
in the club, like board level. So he will advise Murta.
Okay.
Yeah, very interesting lah. All these like John Murta and what's his name, Darren Fletcher, on their
Okay.
like recruitment strategies and player development, blah blah blah.
Yeah, yeah.
But what I don't understand right now is like how in the world are we going to get top four?
I mean, like, okay, like, I don't think not getting top four is the end of the world for a club like United. Okay, to be honest,
Oh
because
man,
United are.
that's so sad, man. What have we become? This
Yeah,
should
I
be the
know.
end, you know.
Sorry.
This should be the end. You know when you okay, just to let you know, right? Next year it would have been 10 years since we last won the Premier League. ten
That
years,
was
man.
what 20 yeah 2013 Robbie
2013,
Van
right?
Persie.
Next year will be 10
Yeah.
years since we last won a Premier League. That is mad.
I mean like okay lah. I mean things were always going to be tough after Alex left lah. You know what I say. But like I
Mm,
didn't know they're going to be this tough lah. But like
mm,
you're saying that okay like every top team in the world, every team in the world,
mm,
they all are their players are all very well drilled, and on some level, right? They all pressure they all pressure the opponent into mistakes.
mm.
So
Yep.
number one, all the top teams in the world, right? They work hard. Okay,
Mm,
so if United wants to be a top team, like from the previous generation, like 10 years ago, then the level of effort must be put into everyday your training and into like everyday matches lah. And if like Ralph cannot
mm,
get that out of the players, then what makes you think that another manager, like for example a Pochettino or someone
mm,
who likes to press the ball,
mm,
what makes
mm,
you think like he's gonna get a tune out of these players? You know, I don't know
mm,
what the problem is in the dressing room, to be honest. I don't know who is this. I don't know who is this. Like, what is this bad vibe going on in the dressing room that
mm,
they keep talking about? Because,
mm.
like, I mean, okay, it probably all started like with Josie, right?
Um,
Or even before that.
Even before that, like with Di Maria, all these guys,
Yeah, so like,
even the ones
yeah, I don't.
that came in and left before.
Yeah, so I don't. I really don't know, like, how. what really, I just really want to hear what is going on in the dressing room. Yeah, just for me.
Okay, so based on the reports, they are saying like there have been cliques. There are cliques right now, like the Portuguese clique, and then
Okay.
there is the English boys, and then there's
Okay.
the bench guys, and then there's the academy guys. So apparently, these are the reports. It's crazy what they are saying. Like apparently, there's like the Portuguese guys, the all the Portuguese speaking guys, the Fred, the Bruno, the Ronaldo, um, all these guys are there, De Gea and all that. And then there's these guys who are like the English guys, the Maguire, the Luke Shaw, the Rashford, Lingard. Okay, and then there's like the like a bit like the street hip hop guys, like the Sancho, like the Lingard, these guys like with the drip and all that. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
like, has a bit of style, and and then you have the one Bisaka who has no friends. You know, you get me, like all these guys have cliques, so that's the reports that are coming. So what has happened apparently recently? They upgraded the canteen to like a
Mm,
6-seater in every corner. So I do not know why would someone design a canteen like that if they want to promote unity, right? So
yeah.
apparently everyone, they are sitting with their cliques. They take this, like the Portuguese will probably take the other 6-seater at the corner. Then the English will take another 6-seater at the corner. So they are not gelling together. So the confirmation to that was when Luke Shaw, after after the game post match interview, he said like, I'm not sure if we are if we were united, or if
Oh,
we felt like we were together on the pitch. He actually said that.
okay lah.
So
I mean,
where is this coming from? Like the root of this, then you play futsal, right? Even you don't need to talk to your friends, every day to go and play futsal and to pass to him, or to have that kind of understanding. You can just like show up, and if your teammate is good, if you have certain understanding with him, and if you are decent, you can have a good game, honestly. You
correct.
can have a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
game. Yeah, you don't need to like you don't need to go to his house every day to build chemistry, or
yeah. Yeah,
do
yeah, yeah.
barbecue
Okay.
together every day and build that kind of chemistry. No need to laugh at all the jokes together at the same time and all that. You don't need all that to form a chemistry on the pitch, right? uh, because when it comes to football, it's quite realistic. Like if you train well, if you know how would each other move in certain pressure moments, or off the ball, on the ball, and all that. If
Mm-hmm.
you've been playing together for a while, you will know like Cavani will run to the left because he's right-footed. You get me? Like he will run to he will run to the right because he would prefer to get the ball on a certain way. You get all these
Mm-hmm.
cues like, hey, I would want to move there because I think he's gonna move the other way. Like all
Mm-hmm.
these things, like I do not see it. Like I do not see it at all in United. It feels like these are a group of players that we just bought, and this is their first game together. So I really do not know what is going on. Like, are they taking a piss? Are they like like trying to say like, hey, Ralph, you cannot tell us what to do, or making us work harder than all these years that we've been under Oli. And so I honestly do not know. I'm not sure what's going on with United. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, guys, if you are or if you are watching, I could see that some of you are watching, viewing the live. If you have any thoughts with regards to Ralph Rangnick and what's going on with United, please, comment and use the chat box to give your thoughts, share your comments, even questions if you do have, with the current topic that we're currently speaking on, which is on Ralph and the work that he's got to do in United. So, yep, yeah. So those are my thoughts then.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
What else can I say? Yeah lah. If what you say is correct, right? Then it's obviously like going to show up on the pitch lah. Because
Mm,
because you can get away with a lot more in futsal than you can do against real professional players who are
yep,
drilled.
yep,
Like for like Wolves lah, for example.
yeah.
And I don't I don't know whether like players once they sign for Manchester United, right? They just
Mm,
think like, oh, okay, I'm at Manchester United. I've made it.
mm,
Like and then they start to slack off. But that's not the way it should be. Once you're at Manchester United, right? Every day
mm,
you every day you have to tell yourself. Every day you go toe to toe with the best in the world. You
mm,
know, and you have to be mentally and physically prepared for that. Lah. I mean,
mm,
like, and all 11 players on that pitch, right, are just living the dream of every United fan in that stadium. Playing
yep,
for their club, and to see
yep.
them like just not show the minimum like effort, right? You know,
Mm, mm,
uh, it's just very quite sad to see, lah. Yeah. I mean, like, and the way I know this is because when I see Marcus Rashford play, he really plays for the club. I mean,
yep.
he's a Man United fan, and you can tell,
Mm,
when like when a player, right, grew up supporting the club and was a fan of the club, right. You can tell how differently
yeah,
he plays, from the rest that have been bought into by
yep,
the club themselves. But like,
yep.
yeah, that's what's about
Bro,
it.
Rashford is like one of the worst players we have now. Honestly, he's like one of the serious. Like I'm so sorry to say, if Rashford, if any of the Rashford stands are here, or fans of Rashford, Rashi, they call him. Um, he's one of the worst right now. I'm so sorry to say, but that guy is in a deep, deep, deep problem, bro. Because he's already 24. If he goes on to play like this in the next seasons, the next couple of seasons, his career is going to go down the drain. He probably ends up in Burnley or something like that. Seriously, serious.
Newcastle.
Newcastle, or even Newcastle is doing bits, bro. They are buying all the sort of top players.
Former
Rashford,
top lah.
bro, former top. Shout out to Coutinho. But I'm telling you, Rashford is in serious, serious trouble. When Why I say that is because like what we say, like we talk about players getting drilled right to do the right things. We do not know if it's just us, or a player like Rashford. He If you compare him with a Sunday league player, right? If a Sunday league player do the same thing that Rashford did the other day against Wolves, that player is going to get subbed off by the coach, man. I'm telling you. Seriously,
What
if
did he do?
I was going to, bro, every time he took the ball, he tried to ram, he likes to go straight, right? Like he like to
Yeah.
run through, and all that. That's pretty much he does. That's pretty much what he does. He takes the ball, he go, and then he gets bombarded by two defenders. That's it. He gets dispossessed. He gets dispossessed
Oh,
all the time. So if I was doing what Marcus Rashford was doing on the pitch, on a Sunday league, right? Um, if I were going to do that, my coach is going to tell me, "Yo, Joe, man, you got to get out of the pitch, man. It's not working out for you." So
okay.
the issue here
Yeah,
is like,
fair
what in the world is happening? Like, it's not just Rashford. The team looks bad now. Like Bruno, Wan Bissaka, Wan Bissaka is declining. Like he looks half the player he was when he was in Crystal, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Wan Bissaka looks like he's not able to do any tackles now. Like he looks like, if someone said that he looks like he's wearing scuba divers. He's wearing a scuba diver outfit. Like he's running with the with the duck legs. I know
Yeah,
it's
I know.
funny, but it makes sense, bro. At some point, I was like, dude, what's going on with all these guys? Like they are living the
Bro,
dream, like what you said. They are earning lots of money.
yeah.
They are playing in front of thousands and thousands of fans, not just in the stadium but around the world.
Hmm.
Like, won't they think that they're embarrassing themselves?
Yeah.
Like
I
I do
mean,
not know.
like,
Like as a human being, right? If I was playing for United, right, I'll be so embarrassed, like to make mistakes. Like I want to play the
of course,
perfect
lah.
game. You get what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure, right? Every United game on television is watched by at least like a few, like a few 100 million people.
Yep.
Really. Yeah. So yeah, lah. Maybe they don't have that available. But what is wrong with Sancho, Jaden Sancho?
Ooh, Sanch. I think with Sancho, I don't wanna like criticize him that much because it's his first season, and I think it's as much as he's one of the top players, top, yeah, like young top players and all that. We must know that the German league is obviously not the same with Premier League in terms of intensity and the robustness and all that. As much as it's a cliche to say like that, it is true. It's honestly true. I mean, you can see in Havertz, yeah, Werner, all these guys. They
Yeah.
Ziyech, even Ziyech from Ajax. They struggle. They struggle quite a bit in the Premier League. So I think for Sancho, you have to give him time, like a season or two. I think he will have a breakthrough season soon.
Okay.
Soon. I think with Sancho, I don't want to talk about him that much because like I don't think he's playing well. Like he's not even being mentioned by some of like the fans, like a few months ago when everyone was talking about Sancho, like Sancho, United is closing with Sancho and trying to seal the deal with Sancho and all that, but right now nobody is talking about him. Like he just went off radar. That's the status now. It's sad, but I think from a footballing point of view, it's understandable. I would still give him time and say, hey, I think it's understandable to have like a dent in your growth. But I think in due time he will in with the he will come true, I believe. But the players
Hmm.
that I feel like that is really like you have to really question is number one is like Rashford, like Bruno Fernandes, these guys, like Wan Bissaka, Maguire, um, who else? Luke Shaw, and
Okay.
yeah, these five players. For me, McTominay and Fred, they've always been that players, those kind of players where they are not like top players. They are like squad players, but what to do? Like the managers pick them and make them to be first teamers. So it doesn't make sense, but they are who they are right now, lah. But they are essentially squad players. They are not necessarily first teamers, but um, currently, if you compare McTominay with Roy Keane,
Hmm.
whoa, you see the gap, right? Like Paul Ince. Um,
Yeah.
you can notice the gap, right? Like, so what I'm saying is like there are at least five players that you seriously need to question, like what are you doing in Manchester United?
Okay. Uh, let's say you could change like three things, lah, or
Hmm.
maybe okay, lah. Let's say you can change two things in Manchester
Hmm.
United, like right now, like any change you want. What will you change?
Um, honestly, okay, from a realistic point of view, right? okay, allow me not to be realistic lah.
Can, it
If
can be
it's
as
not,
unrealistic.
yeah, I wanna sack all the players. I wanna terminate all their contracts.
Okay.
Serious. You know what
Hey,
I'll do?
I
I will play all
you
the
know
under 23, bro. I'll play all the under 23 team. I played the kids against the big guys. Honestly, that's what I'll do, man. Serious. I
one
will
day I would like to see
play
that
the
happen. Just the manager loses his like shit, right? Then the board
yep,
like backs him, right? Then just plays all the youth players and just leaves the.
yeah,
Yeah. I
exactly.
really want
That's
to
what I
see
would
that.
do. I will number one, right, to serve these guys, right? Like to say, like, hey, you know what? Get the heck out of this club, man. Like you don't deserve your place. I'm gonna play all the youth players. I'm gonna give all the under 23 a place. That's what I'm gonna do. Like first thing first. All these guys need to know that that your place and your time in United is limited. Okay, and you don't have a very long time. You have a month or two to prove. If you don't, you got to go get out of the club, right? So these are the kind of things that you need to be saying, like, as a manager. Like if you're a permanent manager, I think it makes more sense. If you're an
Mhm.
interim manager, that's the thing. Like for Ralph, as much as we want to criticize Ralph, like I would criticize Ralph because I think when he did the 4-4-2, I think from a 4-2-2 he went to a 4-4-2. I think that part is when I think that he made a mistake in terms of tactics.
Mhm.
Um, but I cannot criticize Ralph that much because he's only been here in like like what 1 month now. So
Yeah
so
lah.
number one, yeah, I will get all the young fellas to play. I will not. I'll bench these guys because if we're gonna lose, let us lose in honor lah, at least, right? Lose in
Correct.
honor.
Yeah.
Play the young
Yeah.
guys. The young guys won't. They will give their all, man. They will not.
Of course. Yeah.
They will not like
And
They will not be like yeah. Yeah, you saying?
and if they even if they lose, right, they will not be booed by the supporters
Yeah,
because
that's right.
nobody boos young players. You know, a fresh player
Exactly.
because
Yeah.
they just want to
Just
give them all the
play.
encouragement. You know. Yeah.
Yeah. Play the young players, do what you need to do with the young players. Um that's number one. Two is I think I would say that we need to at least get a defensive midfielder in January. Um
Who have you got in
I
mind?
think um
Tyler Adams.
I think at the state of where we are at right now, we need a proven like a very very top
Okay.
class defensive
Proven.
midfielder.
Proven.
I think with the state we are right now, I think we can't afford to have the youngins to come in, right? Like Tyler Adams or what. But I think we might do well with like Declan Rice or Ruben Neves. Um,
But
I
okay,
think we
like
could.
Declan Rice, I understand. Ruben Evans, maybe not. Because he's more of like a playmaker. Not like a tough tackler. Like
Mm,
maybe like
I
someone
think
like
yeah.
uh, Idrissa,
Go ahead.
who
Mm,
Idrissa Ganage from PSG, I think.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or there's someone from Leicester, right? Nampali's Mendy.
And Didi.
Oh yeah, Wilfred Ndidi. Yeah, he
Yeah,
is very very good.
yeah. He's very good. Yeah,
Uh, and even Yves Bissouma, he's quite proven and he's young.
Bisuma. Brighton. Yeah,
Yeah, okay, that's
something.
fair. Lah.
Someone of that mold. Someone of that mold, like proven Premier League. Premier League proven kind of player. I think we need a defensive midfielder from a United point of view. Um, that is proven and is able to. I think we need someone to boss the midfielder. I think right now
Yeah.
Bruno can't hold the ball to save his life. He really can't do that. Like he just can't. Like he cannot hold the ball even for a few seconds. once he takes the ball, bro, like everything collapses. Like he does something that is like, yo, like, why do you do that? Like, why do you pass to that guy who is under pressure? Um, like I was just telling Fami, like, let's say Dan, right? I'm supposed to pass to you, but you are under pressure. If I'm going to pass to you, I will have to trust you that you are able to hold up the ball. Why would I
Correct.
pass you if I know that you will lose the ball, right?
Yeah, you
Why would
shouldn't
I
pass to
pass
me
to
at all.
you when I know that you're getting pressured and you will lose the ball? So in United, we are always passing to like super risky areas, risky zones, and we
Mm,
always get dispossessed. Like apparently in like stats, from a stats point of view, right? We are at the lowest, like the team with the most ball dispossession in the league. Like we get dispossessed like 100 times more than any other team. Those kind of things. So that is a sick stat, bro. Like, why would we be like that? Like that is so bad. Like if you're even if you're like a normal player, right? You're like a Sunday league player or any league like, in the world. If your team is like that, bro, you're crap, man. You you're bad. So
okay.
that's what I'm saying. Like we need someone to boss the midfield, not from an attacking point of view. I think from a really to bring a bit of security on the middle of the park. Um,
Mm,
who can string a few passes and break the line a bit. I think defensive midfielders are the that's one of their roles, key roles, is actually to break the line with their pass and
yeah,
try to
yeah,
break
yeah.
the line and try to break the attacking line as well of the opposition.
Correct.
Um, and and um, and know when to make the interception, like Kante, know how to intercept, know how to make. Let's do one or two, a few more dribbles, and then pass, and then and string a few passes. Those kind of things. So that's number two. I'll
Mm,
try to get a defensive midfielder. A third one would be, I think, um, a third one is really to get a proper manager once Ralph moves to the consultancy role. I think
okay.
I know
I
we will
think
get a proven manager,
okay.
but yeah,
Realistically, that's gonna happen, lah. So I think maybe you think think of another one because like realistically that is gonna happen, lah. If Ralph is
yeah,
moving
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
like a consultancy role.
No, I think we need to secure a manager that will play an attractive brand of football. I think that's what I'm trying to say. We cannot just simply hire a manager just for the sake of of hiring. Like, oh, he's a top manager, so I'm going to hire. Like Mourinho, right? We hired him because he's a top manager, but do you really know what he's going to bring into the table? Like, do you really know how your football will look like when you hire Mourinho? um, not saying that
Yeah,
he
but
plays a bad brand of football, but because after a while, United didn't like the way he was playing. But I'm like, dude, that's how Mourinho plays.
yeah.
Didn't
So
you know
why are you
before this? Before you
surprised?
hired him, yeah, yeah. Mourinho plays the same way. So I think United really need to know who they're gonna hire and what they're gonna get. If you're gonna make someone a permanent manager, because permanent manager they get at least two transfer windows, right? They get two transfer
Correct.
windows
Yeah.
and at least, and then like they get 2 seasons. So what I'm saying is like if we were to get someone, we need to get someone who wants to play an attractive brand of football, who can attract, at least give the fans a reason to watch the game. It's okay lah, we lose, right? I don't mind losing as long as we play well. Like we have a good brand of football. You can see that hey, you can string a few passes, attack well. Midfield is there's a bit of cohesion going on there,
Mhm.
and eventually when you keep doing the same thing, when you are committed to playing that kind of football, you will see the results eventually. But right now, I'm not seeing that. So probably that's going to be my third thing, like to really know like who's the manager that's going to come on in terms
If
of what brand of football.
if you could have anyone, who would it be? And
I think that's
why?
quite easy
And
for me.
why is it Nuno Espirito Santo?
Bro,
Okay.
Nuno, man, I would die to have him, man.
what what would you give?
Come on, man. He used to manage Wolves. No, 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 no.
Yeah, that's
obviously,
true.
obviously, we are joking. Um, I think it would be Eric Ten Hag
Okay,
from Ajax.
that's.
Yeah, I think
I
he's
think
being
yeah, that's.
linked. Obviously,
Mhm.
he's being linked to United. But the only concern, or probably is going to be the major concern for a lot of people, would be how he's going to manage in a club that don't have football foundations, like football kind of like strategies and foundations. So I know we'll have Rangnick there, but you don't simply come to a club and start everything goes well. You need to give some kind of foundation and parameters that, hey, this is your freedom, you can do whatever you want, this is what we have developed, you can develop from there. Or else Ten Hag will come in and he has to start doing football academies for the young players, to play his brand of football. So I do not know what's really going to happen, but if we were to say like attacking level of football who is tactically sound,
Mhm.
and someone who will not who will want to take risk as well and would want to play possession football, I think it would be Ten Hag.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then
Mm,
I think that's fair lah. But like is the rumors? Do you think he'll come though? Because I secretly believe that Ten Hag wants to win the Champions League with Ajax. I
mm,
think that is one of his ambitions lah.
mm,
Because like I mean their domestic league they've been winning it like consistently, like together
mm,
with
mm,
PSV, right? So like,
mm,
and their current group of players, they are young players. They all like, I mean, they look good lah. Don't get me wrong. So like,
yeah.
if let's say, I don't know if it's the, I mean, like a move like this would definitely be good lah. For him, because it's a bigger club, and then like he wants to develop his abilities as a manager and so on and so forth. But I don't know if he doesn't win the Champions League with Ajax, maybe he will not come. It's fine.
Mm,
Because like it came quite close to win to getting to the final, you know, before
yep.
like Spurs came.
Yep.
So like then really like if like let's say they went through and then beat Liverpool in the final, that's really like a big achievement. Considering like Ajax haven't been to the final for like 20 odd years or so. Yeah. But I secretly believe he thinks he can win it, with his current group of players. Really.
Mm.
That's my 2 cents lah.
For Ajax, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think he wants to prove something this season with Ajax. They're in the Champions League. I think he wants to. I think he wants to prove something, but I also believe that this could be his last season with Ajax because I think he has proven so many things in Ajax. Like apparently, like globally, Ajax is like in the top 5 team that plays that has like ball retention, like the highest ball retention and the
Mm-hmm.
highest like what they call percentage of winning the ball back. those kind of
Mm-hmm.
stats and percentage, like Ajax is like one of the top. So he, in terms of quality of football, he has really brought Ajax to where it was. So
Mm-hmm.
I think Ten Hag has done quite a bit of things, and right now they have scored a lot of goals as well. Apparently, they are one of the top teams that have scored a lot in
Mm-hmm.
Champions League, like in the current season. So there's a lot in how they demolished Borussia Dortmund. I
Yeah.
think I think that really raised a lot of how to say raised a lot of eyebrows, like in terms of like wow, a team of young players, because I wouldn't say young players, but a lot of them are they are not as experienced as like the players that we have in like the PSG or what lah, in terms of Champions League and all that. I know they have Tadic, Dusan Tadic, and then they have Haller and some of these guys. But there's this guy called Anthony. I think he's a winger,
Oh yeah,
Brazilian
yeah.
winger in Ajax. Damn good. He's so good, like so good on the ball. Um, he is he is, if you think Sancho is like very good on the ball, and obviously the Dortmund Sancho lah, not done right now. um, this guy is something else, man. Like Anthony is really like he likes to showboat. Like you know how
Yeah.
the typical Brazilians, like how they like
Yeah.
to show their skills to entertain.
Uh,
He is of that mold. So it's like very
Samba
old
football.
school kind of Brazilian. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very old school Brazilian footballer, like who's like to show their skills and showcase everything. So I like him. Yeah. So Ten Hag has this kind of place. You're right. You're right. I have the feeling too. Like I think he wants to win, but I'm not sure if he would stay
It,
after the season. I think he will do his best, try to get them to a final, because he did say somewhere that we went quite close last time. I think he
mm-hmm.
wants to repeat and go further. So when he means further, it could only mean the final. lah. He wants to go into the
Yeah, lah.
final. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and like I really hope like he does it, lah. You know? Like
mm,
despite how challenging it may be, like who are they playing in the round of 16 Ajax?
um let's quickly check. But
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they are playing I think it's Benfica.
Oh, Benfica.
Yep,
Okay.
it's Benfica. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
they
Okay,
will
that.
I think they will destroy Benfica, man. I think so. Yeah, bro. Like I think Benfica they lost quite a bit of players, like some of their top players. Um Benfica is one of those teams where they always have good players, and then the bigger team will come and just buy their players off. Like like
Yeah, yeah,
those
that's
clubs,
true.
like like macam Benfica, Monaco, those clubs like Porto, they are actually
Yeah.
solid teams, but they have a lot of individual quality in the team, where the actual players that got them to where they are now,
Mm-hmm.
halfway the season, 1 or 2 seasons, then they just leave because they're actually
Mm,
good. So the bigger clubs would come and buy those players.
yeah, selling clubs, lah. Yeah.
Yeah, selling clubs like Dortmund, even like Dortmund, I would say, Ajax, even
Uh,
Ajax is like that. Yeah, but I think Ten Hag and Van der Sar, they're trying to change that mindset. They're trying to change that Ajax, because Ajax is always known for their academy and how they sell players, and that's how they make
mhm,
money. But I think Ten Hag and the rest, they are trying to change the mentality where maybe AX don't have to sell players all the time. They could be the
mhm.
club, that want to bring these players to the finals and win the big leagues and big tournaments.
Is a very tough, because
Yeah.
you got to consider the amount of revenue the Dutch league pulls in also, and how many fans are there? Also, what is the viewership? So it's a bit very tough, lah.
Hmm.
Yeah, but in terms of like competition, right? then I think they are as good as anybody lah. That's left in the Champions League. I think I think it's that's always sort of their aim, just to be successful in Europe once again, you know, because it's been so long, and they are the
Mm,
club historically that is uh, good in Europe. I think they got like four Champions Leagues or something.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
So Eric Ten Hag, you want to sack all the players and a good defensive midfielder.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
I think with
That,
that we would. I think we will probably be. Yeah, I wouldn't say we will make. I think we'll definitely make an impact if um if at least 2 to 3 players of the same intensity and hunger. I think that the word hunger it's really missing in the players' spirit right now. Like nobody is hungry. Like everyone is like I don't want. Some people, some players are reportedly like they're scared of the ball. Like I want to pass to you, but you're like, you don't pass to me, don't pass to me. Like I'm under pressure. Some of the players, the way they play are like that. So yeah, that's about United lah,
yeah.
guys. Yeah. Anyway, I mean, I think that's Ralph. What we could talk about Ralph today. I think we can touch on a few more as we go through the stream. Um, do you think we can talk about Spurs right now, like your signings
Okay.
for
Spurs.
January and Spurs and Arsenal, or you should we talk about Arsenal first?
We can talk about Arsenal first, lah. Actually, no. Actually, I don't know how. I don't know what to talk about Arsenal actually, but like we can always speculate, lah.
We can always speculate. Don't worry, Jasmine is not here. Um, I think I think Arsenal, from what
I
I've read today. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, no, 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 you carry on, because I really am just like basing this off what I see from the team, lah. No, but carry on, carry on.
No, like I think what I really see is I think Arsenal really wants the top four. And I think they're going to
Okay, that's
spend in
true, lah.
January. Yeah, they look like they
Mm,
really really want it. Like you can see that desire. And
yeah,
if Arteta gets top four with these players, bro, I think that's bigger. It's like a bigger achievement than the FA Cup.
FA Cup.
I really believe that. Like with these players, without Aubameyang, because I don't think Oba will play again for Arsenal.
Mhm. Okay.
Um, Sad, right? Like one of your top players who used to be your top goal scorer just vanished like that, just off radar, just like the MIA. Um,
Just like Costa, lah.
just like that.
And
Yeah, it's really mad. But anyway, I mean, if Arteta could actually bring these young players, because I honestly think like ESR, like Emil Smith Rowe, Saka, Tavares, all these guys like Tomiyasu, Ramsdale, Ben White, all these guys, if he manages to lead them to a top four, to
Mhm.
a competitive top four, and manages to get top four, I will really tip off my hat to him. Like that
Yeah,
is unbelievable. Like that is something.
I
That means
agree.
he's a really that means trying to say like he's really a good coach. Um, because I think Arsenal is just 2 to 3 players away from actually challenging top flight football. Like could actually compete with City or Liverpool. Honestly, that's what I feel. I think they are two
Yeah,
to
they
three
got a
players
good
away.
player.
Yeah, I think they are there already in terms of hunger, but I think their confidence is something. I think sometimes they lose confidence on their ability. This is what I observe. Jasmine agrees as well. I think I told him this the other time. Yeah,
And they got moments when they lose their discipline, lah. Like for example
that's
that
right.
City game, right? They
Yeah,
really like. lost their heads or something. I don't know what happened. They just basically just. I mean, the game was. They were playing they were playing the perfect game and all that first half.
Yeah.
Like seriously, and they should have like been like 2-0 or at least 2-0 up lah at least. And then like
Mm,
I think Shaka was the one that gave the penalty, right? As usual lah,
mm,
our brother from Switzerland. And then Gabriel gets a yellow card for like scruffing up the penalty spot, and then he gets another yellow card
mm,
for like some really stupid nonsense lah. And like you know, very avoidable lah. These sort of things. Yeah. So like on I think on some like small level, right? I feel a bit of pity for them because they
mm,
really were like showing. They really were like causing Man City to they were really like they really putting the pressure on Man City, and Man City were like feeling it also.
mm,
Yeah, and then they went and shoot themselves in the foot lah. But like I agree lah. I don't think they are like 2 to 3 players away from challenging lah. I think right to make that step up, you need like one thing you need is a very strong defense lah. And for me, like the defense is still young, it's not experienced yet, you know. But like I think with this season like underway, then they will get
mm.
better lah. So like I am not looking forward to seeing Arsenal next season lah, because I think they'll be a much better team. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm,
absolutely, absolutely. I think they are, like you said, they I think they definitely need a striker lah. They need a striker immediately. If they were to do any impact for the top four or to fight back for top four, they need. I think they need to sign a striker right now. Um, like in January. Number two is I think Arsenal needs to. They need to get. They need to sack this Saka lah, bro. This Granite Saka guy, man. The guy
oh,
needs to go
oh,
lah. Like I feel like
yeah, yeah.
okay, I like his passion. He's quite passionate for Arsenal and all
Yeah.
that. I would not question his passion, but I think he is the foolish like the dumbest guy lah. Like he is like he does the one of the most dumb things lah on the pitch,
Mm,
and he does this at the point where these players or a player of his profile need to step up and actually lead the team. He does the exact opposite.
yeah.
Granit
I mean,
Xhaka.
yeah, I agree lah. And not, the worst part is right, he doesn't even he plays so well for Switzerland. It's only when he comes to Arsenal, and then like some switch happens, and then
Yeah.
suddenly he just loses his head and just start giving away stupid yellow cards and penalties.
Mm.
Like
And the problem with that is it always happens. It's not the first time, you know, right?
yeah,
Like it happens like multiple times. Like I really think like he's I do not know what Arteta seen him, but he's really Arteta's boy, bro. Like I do not know what he's probably the one of the most aggressive one in the dressing room. I think so.
yeah,
But they really
you
they
know,
really need a boss lah. They need someone who can really lead them from a footballing way, not just like passion. Passion must be there, but someone a little bit more experience on top flight football.
hmm
Like probably won something to come
hmm
over to the team. And like okay, like for United we have Cristiano. Like obviously he has won everything. But
yeah,
Arsenal they need someone who still can play, who can still contribute, who can add value, and just need someone like that as well. I think they need a leader in on the pitch. I think they must get that. So like I say,
okay,
like 2 to 3 players away, I think they can compete with Arsenal. I mean, they can compete with City and Liverpool. Um, then because once the confidence rises, right? Once you build your confidence, like you are there in terms of confidence, then it's all about ability, which I think they have. They have the ability. They have the technical players. They know how to move the ball well. When I saw them moving the ball against City at a period of time, actually City didn't get the ball. Like City, City was actually looking like wolves. Like they were like sitting at the back. Like Burnley, bro. City became Burnley. I was surprised. I was surprised with
Yeah,
City. Like, wow, City. This is my first time actually looking at City losing possession. And like Arteta really drilled them to the point where they look like Arsenal looked like City at one point. The way they move the ball,
yeah,
the triangles and all diamonds and all that. So that was awesome to see. So I mean, big up to Arsenal. I like what they are doing right now, but Arteta,
yeah.
like I said, I was just like how a few streams ago we were saying like Arteta is just, if he can prove
The,
himself, it's good. But uh, if he doesn't, it really proves our point again and again that Arsenal will never go to the next level with him, as the head coach. Yeah,
um, but I think a lot of credit must be given to Arteta, lah.
yeah,
Even if,
must
like,
lah,
let's
must,
say
must, must.
he doesn't like maybe get the top four or maybe like European football next season. Because
Mm,
the way that they are playing this season, considering that they were bottom of the league, like after three
mm,
games, right? It's very impressive. It's really quite impressive.
yep.
Uh, I don't know who they are linked to, lah. And to be honest, I don't know if they are buying a first team player that is going to replace someone in the squad, other than Shaka, lah, probably.
Mm,
But even then, like, I think they are. I think they are probably in the market for like squad depth, you know. And yeah, like you
mm,
said, like a striker also, lah. Because like I said, like he's very good at holding up the ball, lah. But in terms of like
mm,
scoring, he's maybe like not really not really there also.
mm.
Like now, yeah.
Yeah, I think they are linked to Vlahovic.
Oh yeah, okay, okay, yeah.
I'm seeing this news from David Ornstein. They are linked
Oh yeah.
to Vlahovic. I think they need a forward, man. I think uh, it's gonna happen, lah. It's gonna happen if the player wants. So apparently the clubs are okay. It's a very interesting situation. I think the agents are all okay. It might be that the player, I think he doesn't rate Arsenal. I don't know. I feel like he said of all clubs, Arsenal. But Vlahovic is a serious player. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
Vlahovic is a serious player. If he comes, I could guarantee you with the kind of football Arsenal is playing, Vlahovic will really benefit. Like or Arsenal will really benefit from Vlahovic.
Okay
Yeah,
lah. Yeah, I mean, like for
yeah.
me, like
I think I
he's a
think
bit
that's one.
too. Yeah.
Let's talk
Mm,
about Spurs. Like Spurs, how about Spurs? Like I heard about Traore.
yeah, I was just reading about it just now. Like I saw like Matt Doherty like trending, and then apparently he's been
Yeah.
being linked back to move to Wolves, but Spurs are not
Mm,
agreeable that Traore is part of. I mean, Doherty is part of the Wolves deal to bring the Spurs deal to bring Traore in. But doesn't matter. Like what? Traore, he's an interesting guy because I mean, like if he comes in, it'll be great lah.
mm,
But I think the
mm,
issue I have about him is his end product which has always been the issue with Traore ever since like he just came to the Premier League His end product is
mm,
kosong, bro. Like really, once in a while only he will score or assist, and then it just seems that he just dribbles right. Then once he reaches like the right wing right hand side touchline, right, he just gives. He just like wins a corner, and
Mm,
his crossing is like not the best lah, I would say lah. And he's not like very like comfortable in front of goal one on one or so. Yeah, but like I trust Conte, man. Like he's my
mm,
he's my manager. I mean, like I'll trust him, you know. If he wants to if he wants to bring Traore in, then just bring him in, lah. You know. I mean,
mm,
Traore is a damn exciting player to watch, lah. I mean, he will definitely get the
mm,
crowds like standing and whatnot, you know. And that in itself is like a boost, lah. You know, for us.
mm,
I think we are
mm,
missing that sort of player that can dribble and is just like a powerhouse, you know, like a
mm.
dribbler that can beat people. You know, we've
Yeah,
got like
take on
this sort
players.
of
Yeah.
we've got these like fake dribblers, you know, that dribble a bit, then they see someone in front of them, then they pass, you know, people like who are like Steven Bergwijn, um, who else?
Fake
Even
dribblers.
yeah, fake dribbler. You know? No, I call it fake dribblers
Vibes
because
lah,
really,
vibes. They're here for the vibes.
yeah, you know, yeah, they complete one dribble, but the dribble is like there's literally no obstacle, you know.
Oh man.
Yeah, I
Even
mean
then, they
like
will not complete.
yeah lah, somehow lah, you know, they managed to find. Yeah lah, but actually, if you look at the first team, right, there's no one that you can actually say is a dribbler that beats
Mm,
people consistently lah. I don't, not even like Son, you know. Son is more of like a pacey winger that is very good for balls in behind, but he doesn't really beat people that often. You know, he's got like this one trick lah. Only this one trick. I don't know how to describe it, but basically he does a step over and then like cuts to like one side with his left foot and then tries to like cross it in or like score because he's quite good with his weak foot. But
mm,
other than that, there's literally no dribbler in the Spurs team. Oh yeah, wait, Lucas Moura. I mean that guy is like really like 100% effort. I give it to him. Yeah, but
mm,
other than that, yeah, I wouldn't say there's much dribblers at the club. And with Traore, that will change lah. And yeah, I think currently like right wing back is our weakest spot. Is our weakest position now. Yeah. Okay,
mm,
that's my thoughts on Spurs lah. You know, but I'm
mm,
quite
mm,
like
mm,
underwhelmed by the signings, the lack of signings because like when Conte came in, right, there was all this like
mm,
all the Spurs Twitter was like going mad, you know. Oh, that means Conte came in. That means Levy has promised him signings in January,
mm,
and all these, you know, big signings, you know, and we desperately need
mm,
signings, and they are just not happening.
mm,
And it's already been 1 week lah, you know.
mm.
So like, I don't know what is, I don't know. I mean, Newcastle have already bought like Kieran Trippier, and Coutinho just went
Mm.
on loan to Villa. So I don't know what we're
Oh
waiting
man,
for, lah,
yeah,
you know. I really don't know what we're waiting
yeah,
for. I mean,
yeah.
like,
I think for Spurs, you guys need to buy some players, man. Like as much as we talked about Arsenal earlier, right? Like how Arsenal need to buy a striker. I think for Spurs, you guys need quite a number of players to sustain and to play the way Conte wants you guys to play. I think
mm,
Conte has done quite a good job, I must say.
yeah,
Although you lost to Chelsea, there's always a gap with Chelsea because Chelsea is playing one of the best football in the world, um, like City and all that. So it's okay. I mean, it's okay to lose to one of the top teams and to know like okay, this is the gap. I think that's what Conte said, right? Like this is why Spurs, we are Spurs, and that is Chelsea. Like there is a gap. Um, but I think for this January transfer window, my if I was a Spurs fan or if I were to advise Conte, I think I would really look for players who can come on loan. and who can give the maximum value and benefit to the team. Because knowing
Yeah.
Daniel Levy, knowing him that he doesn't buy players per se, like he's not the kind of guy who likes to buy players, right? Like, he
Yeah.
doesn't splurge money in that sense. So I would say that if possible, like he could loan players in, right?
Mm.
And and work not okay. I understand like Traore is gonna come in and play the right back role, the right wing back role, those things. Like I understand that, but I think you guys need someone in the defensive midfielder role as well. And I
Mm.
think need someone. I think offensively you guys are okay, but I think
No, I don't
because
think so.
okay, I'm not.
Mhm.
I think like Son, Mora, and Kane. Like I think still okay, right? Like as much as you've. I mean, like from a neutral, I think like there's still so much potential or so much value there with Kane, Son, and like super underrated. Son is like one of the most underrated players, right? Um, and you wouldn't say that for Arsenal. If you compare yourself with Arsenal, right? Like Arsenal, they don't have like a Kane or a Son, you know, or Mora. They if you were to put Kane, Son, Mora in Arsenal, I think Arsenal could honestly do a lot better than what they're doing right now. So I think for Spurs, I think the problem lies in the midfield and in the back. Like
Okay. Yeah.
like Dier onwards, like from his line onwards, like the defensive line to the transition to the midfield. I think that's where it gets a little bit interesting. Like I think need someone who can to do like a box to box kind of
Yeah.
like under Herrera kind of player, like a box to box,
Okay.
like who's like a Kante, a bit like a Kante, like can attack, can intercept, can defend, can do everything.
You can do everything.
So if you get a midfielder like that, I think for Conte system is going to be massive.
Yeah, and
This is
like
my point of view.
uh no, like the reason also like, I'm also like very like surprised lah, That Liverpool game, right? We played one of the best I've ever seen,
Oh
since
yeah.
Poch left, like really. So I'm
Hmm.
like that midfield of who was playing?
Hmm.
Wings and Dombele and Delhi. Wings, yeah, Wings, Dombele and Delhi. That midfield, like literally,
Hmm.
like overpowered Liverpool, and like were creating chances left, right, center. And then like this guy, when Conte chooses a midfield of Skip and Højbjerg for Chelsea, which is like for me
Hmm.
like we lost the game from there, I mean
Hmm.
like, mm, I'm not saying that Skip or Højbjerg are bad players, but problem
Hmm.
is, I mean like the first of all, the problem is there's only two in that midfield, and that will be like he's always being outnumbered by Chelsea's like three in midfield. Okay, and then another problem is usually our wing backs, they usually will support the
Hmm.
midfield, but this time they were not. They're getting like so overpowered very easily. And then yeah, so like I don't get why he didn't pick that Liverpool team, the Spurs team that played Liverpool against Chelsea, because like I really think like it would have made the difference unless something happened, because Delhi, right, he played his best game like at Liverpool,
Hmm.
and since then he hasn't even made an appearance, I think. So like I don't know what is happening now, in terms of like the decision being made,
Hmm.
because for Spurs, right, a lot of our creativity comes from the wing backs, so if you can stop the wing backs, right, then you got a very good chance of winning the game already, because like we're not going to
Yeah.
create anything. Yeah, I mean it's a very similar situation to Chelsea lah, because we both play with wing backs. So their wing backs were more attacking and threatening on that day lah. They got think Marcus Alonso was playing left back, and they got Ziyech was playing right wing back, left foot. I think, if I'm not wrong. But yeah lah, I mean like a lot of things has to change lah. Starting with like we need good signings lah. Not just like young young players with potential. Like
Mm,
that's the kind of like that's the kind of like strategy we've been going for, young players with potential, because like they can be sold for they got value lah as they age,
mm,
and if they perform well. But like I think we really need to get like some good quality like players in their prime lah, like those 25, 26 year olds, that can really come in and just
mm.
make a difference, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
immediately, right?
Yeah, I don't have any like names on my list, that's not my job, okay. But I would like to see some signings lah. That's my just to feel excited, once again, you know what I'm saying. I
Yeah,
always when a new signing comes, right, you get that excitement, that feeling, then you go onto YouTube to see how they perform and all this, and then
I honestly feel you guys would do well with like players from Atletico Madrid, like that kind of player, like very
oh yeah,
aggressive and
yeah.
bad boy vibe, like those flirts with the darkest arts of magic, and
Oh,
like
I would.
like, okay, I give you one name, Rodrigo De Paul, bro. That guy is, I don't want to swear lah, but that guy is I hate him, but he's a darn good player if he's on your team. If he plays for your
he's
team,
a
you're
he's a
you're good.
winger, right?
he he can play a few positions lah. He can play in the midfield. He can play defensive mid. He can play on the flank. Rodrigo De Paul. But bro, I'm telling you, that guy is mad. I don't know what he has on his mind, but
He's
he yeah, but he those Argentinian players, right? South American players who like to
yeah,
pick a fight with you even before the game starts. Like they're already
yeah,
doing in a tunnel, and then
yeah.
like from the
My
first
man
minute, the
Lamela.
guy is like, yeah, 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 like those kind of more like they go to you and then try to whisper some racist jokes and and try to talk about your family members and stuff. Bro, he's that guy, man. He's like very typical South American, you know, gangsters. Um, like quite a number of them who are very technical, very aggressive. I think Conte would do really well with players from players. I think quite a number of them, like from Atletico Madrid, who are a little bit tough, and they
Yeah,
know, yeah, they know that they can add value immediately. Even players like Yannick, Carrasco, those kind of
yeah,
players,
yeah.
yeah, would do so well. You guys, I think, I don't know like what Conte thinks about players, from that kind of mold, because I know like Conte and Diego Simeone, you
Mm.
similar, not the same, obviously. I think
Okay,
Conte,
yeah.
I feel like Conte plays way more attractive football, but the aggression is similar.
They got the energy lah.
Yeah, they got the energy. I saw that, I saw that when you guys played against Liverpool. I saw like a glimpse of the energy, like the Conte's energy, the aggression, and like
Yeah.
the roar, the rrr.
I mean, like, I think for us to buy players from Atletico is a bit difficult, I mean, what can we offer them, You got to think about that too. But like,
Hey,
yeah,
but who knows, man? You
we,
guys sold someone to Atletico. It's time to buy someone from there. You guys had
that
Trippier. Yeah, you guys
oh, we're
sold
talking about
Trippier
Chip.
there, right? It's time to knock on their
Yeah,
doors and say, hey, it's time. It's my time. It's my turn now. Give me a player.
I'm really very proud of Trippier, because he's
Mm,
English, he's from Burnley, and like he went to Atletico Madrid and was was part of their starting 11 lah. So I'm very proud of him.
Yeah, actually, I was
He-
surprised. I was surprised to actually. Okay, two things. Big up to the Atletico recruitment department lah. Like, it was quite random, when I knew that Trippier was going to Atletico Madrid. Like, why would
yeah,
Didier
yeah, yeah.
Simeone like it was one of those randomest transfers? Like, it was quite random.
It's like a
Yeah,
FIFA transfer, right?
yeah, one
But
of those
seriously,
transfer. Like, what? Like, why do you need him?
like, yeah, I mean, like I mean, like of all players, we choose like a English right back who was
Yeah,
playing quite poorly for Spurs
yeah, and he's
in the Premier
super
League.
English. That guy is like super English when he plays.
Yeah, he's got the haircut and like he's like
Yeah,
don't know lah, you know. Yeah, but he came there and like he did well, you know.
he
I
did
mean,
well.
like apparently he was like best friends with like Diego Costa. And so like I'm so happy to see him back in Newcastle, because like I really like him. For me, he's like one of the best crossers of the ball that we had as Spurs,
Yeah,
like ever, like
absolutely,
ever.
man. Mm.
Especially,
One of the
yeah, we
best. One of
could
the best.
like, yeah. It's between him and Ericsson for me. But yeah, he's really like really up there.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
I concur lah. Like, I think Trippier has done himself good. Like like he has really. I mean, like, imagine you're English and you're amongst like Spanish players, and
yeah,
you're
it's
not the
difficult.
flair kind of player. You know how Spanish, they're very good on the ball
Yeah,
and very technical. And he comes in, and the only thing he does is crosses.
yeah, and to play under such a serious manager like
Yep.
Simeone,
Mm.
like, wow. I mean, like, really big up to him lah for making the move and
Yeah, big up to
winning
him
a
lah.
league title.
Yeah, but yeah lah, big up to him, and welcome back to the Premier League, man.
Yeah,
This is where your
welcome back.
career begins again.
I mean, like, who knows? He's like, I believe he is 32. So he's part of like the Newcastle revival, I would say.
Yep.
And yeah, I'm very excited to see him back. I think I'm even more excited than if Spurs sign someone. But like, who cares?
Yeah,
Let's
I
see
was
what.
saying like you guys should just go and talk to Simeone and say, hey, last time you guys just bought Trippier. Can we now buy someone from your team? I think you guys have a good relationship with the club. But I think players
Yeah.
from Simeone's system would fit in Conte's system quite well. Due to
Mm,
the attitude lah, because I think a lot of it, like what Conte is like asking from the players, is really the attitude, the passion, the hunger, and right. Because I think
yeah,
ability
but
wise, you guys are there. I mean, I wouldn't say for all the players like Hoiberg and all that. It's quite average.
mhm.
But like Emerson Royale, it's quite average.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Fair enough.
but technically the place in the attack quite decent lah. I would
Mm-hmm.
say it's pretty decent. So, but you need a bit of that hunger, right? Like, how much do you want a goal? How much do you want to win this? Like,
Yeah.
by hook or by crook, you have to make it happen.
Yeah.
That kind of mentality,
Like,
lah.
but right, you see, right, the problem is like you bring one player who is aggressive like this type,
Hmm.
and you bring him into a club that is maybe not as aggressive. He starts to lose that edge,
Yep.
that made him so like good, you know. I mean, like, case in point is Bruno lah, Bruno came in, he was shouting at everybody, like shouting at
Hmm.
what's the fellow's name, Lindelof,
Um, Lindelof,
and
yeah.
in the Europa League semi final or
Yep.
something. But
Final.
I think you can argue that like he's lost a bit of that sort of like anger,
That fire.
So like yeah, the fire. So like if you want to be like Atletico Madrid, might as well just buy the whole team lah.
Yep. Mm. Yeah, but I think what I would say like for Conte is like you guys need to sort out like Emerson Royale. Like if you're not gonna replace him, then you have to sort him out lah. Like really he needs to go to the
I
next level lah. Cause like dude, like I think your movements are all correct. Like the way you guys move is all like perfect. Like moving to the space, getting to the right positions, but his crosses are awful lah, bro. Like
really awful.
Royals
I think
cross.
to be fair, right, defensively, right, he is not too bad.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
defensively, he's not too bad. But like, if you're playing in that system, right, you
Mm.
really need to have like end product lah,
Mm, mm, mm.
which is very hit and miss lah with him. I mean, like, I have no like problem with Regulon lah on the other side, because he actually like puts him decent crosses lah, at least a couple of times during the game. And defensively,
Mm,
he is okay, you know. He's got the pace
mm,
lah to recover the ball if he like gets beaten lah. And he's got a lot of desire. That's like one thing I really appreciate. So, but on that right hand side is where the problem is lah. It's been a problem since like uh I would say even like since Trippier left lah.
mm,
Funnily enough, or even like Walker, because then like the whole like list of right backs that we bought, right, just have not like made it up to that level that we aspire to be lah. Yeah, so you really need to get it right lah.
mm,
So
mm,
if
mm.
Traore comes, I would not really, I wouldn't mind it lah.
Yeah. Oops. I think Dan is accidentally gone out of the stream. Uh, Amar, you're saying that is it worth it, Adama? I think we just discussed earlier. I think Traore is going to be an exciting signing for Spurs if they manage to sign him up. But his position is going to be interesting. He'll be playing a right wing back, so that's going to be interesting. That's what Dan said. Oops.
Accidentally
Welcome
closed.
back, man.
Yeah, is it worth
Yeah,
a drop?
yeah, yeah. Amar said, "Is it going to be worth it if when Adama comes to Spurs?" Like I just replied, responded to him saying that you were saying that it's always going to be interesting lah. Of course, Traore he's that player where he's fast. He can dribble, but the position is also quite interesting. That because I've read the stories where apparently Conte wants him to play right wing back. So
Mm,
let's see what happens to Traore.
I think it's quite worth it lah. Um, because he's still relatively young lah. Okay, no, no, no. Actually, he's not young. Right? He's 25 lah. So like, let's say we give him 2 years and he doesn't really perform, then at 27
Mm,
he still has value to be sold to another club, and then we can get in a replacement or whatnot. But yeah, so like, for me, he's worth the gamble lah, especially the price being quoted for him. Yeah, and like, I don't think he's that favored at Wolves nowadays, because he's more of like a impact sub, you know. I mean, he made a big impact lah in that United game lah.
mm. Yeah.
Yeah, so like maybe it's worth the gamble. It is worth. Other than that, I'm not so sure lah. Maybe I just think that we need to clear out the dead wood also lah. Some players that have been
Mm,
there for too long
yeah.
and need like a squad refresh, Yeah, that's mainly what I want lah.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. So what's next, man?
Yeah, let's talk before we talk about City. I think we will wrap it up with City. Just like you know, what's going to happen with City when Pep leaves. Just before we speak on that, let's talk about AFCON a little bit. Are you excited for
Okay.
AFCON, man? Yeah.
Bro, like I'm planning. I mean, like, I'll be honest lah. I don't really watch it lah. But you know what? I think right, the level of Fcon right is going to be the highest it's ever been
Yep.
this year, because like I think you mentioned it at the start of the podcast, like
Yep.
a lot of the top players that you will say like maybe they are the top five in their position, right?
Mm.
They are all going to be playing in the Fcon. So like we really could see like a really amazing like cup lah this year, and
Mm.
I am yeah, I'm quite excited lah. I think I'll watch a few matches lah, provided they are at decent timing lah.
Mm, 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 mm. We should. We should.
Yeah,
I think we
yeah,
could
yeah.
do like a preview on them. But who are the players that you you think that would stand out?
Stand out. Oh,
Like would stand out in the tournament. Like you feel like from I mean that some of the players that you know of, especially from because there's quite a number of them from the European League, from the European leagues.
okay.
I would say, yeah.
Uh, is what's his name? Nabi Keita. You know, is he from Guinea?
Let me check. Um, is he playing? Is
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he
I think he's
okay? Is he? I think Dan is stuck. Let me just quickly add him to the stream.
eh, what's up? Sorry man, I don't know why this keeps happening like sometimes lah.
It's okay. It's okay.
Sorry.
No problem. Um, Nabi Kita, I'm not sure. Let me just quickly check.
Okay,
Is he
but
playing in
like
AFCON?
yeah, yeah, I think he should be. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, like I think like okay for me, Keita has been like a sort of like average signing for Liverpool, lah.
Mm-hmm.
But I just have a feeling that he's gonna be a key player for Guinea, lah. Although
Mm.
they may not have like aspirations to like win the tournament. I think like the ones that have aspirations are always like your Algeria or your Cameroon? Is it Cameroon?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, all these like players, right? All these
Yep.
countries, they all have aspirations lah. But perhaps like he can have a good tournament lah. Morocco also,
Mm.
yeah.
Yep.
Morocco
Morocco.
really has a strong squad lah.
That's right.
They got like a lot of talent lah.
Yeah, like
Actually, like
Hakimi, like the guy from Sevilla, Bruno,
Ben Rama as well. Yeah.
Ben Rama, correct. Messina from Watford. Who
Mm,
else? Um, Quite a number of
uh,
players. But I'm excited for this. For for this group for Senegal, man. Seriously, bro, Senegal is all star. Is all star. Okay, let me read to you. Mendy,
Yeah, sure.
okay, Mendy from Chelsea, the keeper,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
Kalidou Koulibaly from Napoli.
Yeah,
Fode Balio Torre from Milan. Abdou Diallo from PSG.
okay.
Um, Bueno Sar from Bayern Munich. Idrissa Gueye from PSG.
Mm.
Nampalis Mendy from Leicester. Pepe Matassar from Metz.
No,
Um,
no, he's on he plays for Spurs actually. He's on loan.
oh, okay. He's from. Oh yeah. He plays for Spurs, correct? But he's
I mean,
from
like,
originally
I
from Metz, right? Yeah.
he, oh,
And
alright.
then
Okay, okay.
Mane
Yeah.
Ismaila Sarr. Crazy.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's a all star, man. It's an all star team.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Senegal.
It's
I think
really
Senegal will probably be the favorites to win this time.
is it?
Yeah, Senegal.
Who are the
Those fellas are
defending
all from
champions
Senegal,
then?
man. It's mad. The whole team is like all star team.
I see, I see. Yeah, lah, it sounds like a good. I mean, like, really, like, maybe, like, these players are all, like, Premier League. I mean, most of them are Premier League proven and they are all, like, really, like, top
Mm,
players, lah.
mm.
Yeah, so, yeah, I'll see Senegal. I think, like, maybe, like, last year, like, they lost the final to Algeria, correct? So maybe,
Yeah.
like, this time they can maybe do better, lah.
Mm.
You know?
But Algeria is definitely going to be, you know, going to be one of the top. Um, going to be one of the top. What they call um top team. That would probably be
Favorites,
in the
favorites.
final favorites. Um, Algeria, Egypt. I know they have Salah, but he's the only one lah, I think, in Egypt that could do something. Tunisia, we have Hannibal Mabry. He's like a exciting young player from United, actually, from the academy. So recently they had like a Arab Cup where he represented Tunisia as well. Tunisia and Algeria quite interesting. Like Tunisia, Algeria, Egypt, they play for both the African continent and also the Arab continent cups.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So recently for the Arab one, Mabry became like the player of the tournament, those kind of thing.
Okay.
So this guy is not even in the United's first team, He's actually from the academy. So Rangnick was actually mentioning that he would love to work with him for the first team. So let's see what happens. But yeah, I mean, like, I want to say, I want to say that it's going to be interesting for us to actually see these players in Afcon, because we want to see how they play for their country. Like, is it consistent? Sometimes these players, they will do well in their for their clubs, but when they come and represent the country, they will flop. Then you will see some players who suck in their club, but when representing their country, they are like giving their lives. They lay down their lives for. And like you mentioned Zaka earlier, right? Like
Yeah,
when
yeah.
he plays for Switzerland, yeah. So it'd be interesting to see. And yeah, for me, the standout player would be Mahrez. I think Mahrez. Amar also said like uh Mahrez for Algeria. I think Mahrez is going to be a standout player for me for this tournament. I think Mane would be a standout player.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there's this guy called Sebastian Haller also from Ajax.
Ajax.
I think he plays for Ivory Coast. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah, and then Eric Bailly, Ahmad Diallo from United. Um, yeah, but some of the players that I think would stand out is like Haller, um,
Mm,
Mane. I think these players will really stand out in the tournament. Mahrez,
what
because I
about
think those are sorry, yeah,
is Oba gonna be playing? Is he
yeah, yeah.
is he being
He
called?
plays for
Gabon.
Gabon. Yeah, he plays for Gabon, but I think he has COVID or something right now. I think he was tested positive.
I see.
So I think that's gonna affect him lah for sure. Quite unfortunate because I think it's really this tournament was built for him, man, to respond to all the media scrutiny,
Yeah, yeah, true,
and
true.
then this is like his chance to shine. Although he's not being able to play for Arsenal, right? So
Mhm.
for him to get COVID right now is quite unfortunate, but hopefully he gets better and he does something. He was player of the tournament for AFCON, I think for some years ago. Um,
Oh, okay.
so if he does become fit again after COVID, oh, that would be quite interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's AFCON. Yep. That's for AFCON.
Okay, okay. Cool, cool. I
Mm-mm-mm.
mean, yeah, I'm looking forward lah to see some matches lah.
Yeah. Probably the
Uh,
matches that, like towards the finals. Probably
yeah.
catch one of those matches. Yeah, I think it will be quite interesting. Oh yeah, shout out to Iheanacho as well. Iheanacho and NDD for Nigeria.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
right. That's right. That will
Kelechi,
be
Kelechi.
interesting. Wait, there are so many there's so many players, man, from the Premier League. I don't know how the Premier League is gonna survive without them, but
Yeah.
um, some of the clubs are gonna be seriously affected by the absence.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we move. Let's talk about City before we wrap up the podcast. But again, guys, to those of you who are watching, some of you I could see view still patiently and faithfully following us through the topics that we've been dissecting. um, so thank you for supporting us. Thank you for the love and support that you guys are showing us. And do smash the like button, comment. If you guys have any questions or what do you want us to cover in the next few minutes, do use the chat box to interact with us. And so yeah, uh, onto our last topic of the night, about Manchester City. We don't usually talk about them because we don't really have a representative in our group.
Yeah.
But
Who is a
we are
fan?
in need of a representative for City and Chelsea. Yeah,
Maybe
City and
you can
Chelsea.
you can
Yeah,
convert that spot.
if you guys are interested, you're a Chelsea fan or City fan, and you want to share some thoughts and views on
Mhm.
City, yeah, do hop on, do direct direct do a direct DM, direct message us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle, if you see, it's actually on, yep, on our profile, our photo, whatever frame you call this. You could see our Twitter handle there. Do you know DM us, and yep, we could hear from you. If you are interested to collaborate or you're interested to, say hi and want to come on stream and all that. So anyway, let's talk about City. Question is, what happens to City when Pep leaves the club? And I have a strong feeling that he will leave. At least, okay, if the earliest he would leave is actually like after this season. Honestly, I have this nudge where he might do a surprise announcement that he might leave the club. And I think City is already planning for it. Or that is the earliest, but if he stays, it's likely that he stays for just another season, and I think he leaves.
Right.
And I feel like I think he wants to win the Champions League. If he leaves the Champions League, I think he leaves the club. Yeah.
Uh,
So what
yeah,
happens to
that's
City?
Okay, for me, right? Um, wow, what happens to City once? Okay, like one thing to understand about City, right? Despite what we may think about them, right, about their level of spending and their financial backing from UAE, right? They are really a club that is really run well, lah, and it's really just built for success,
Mm,
you know. And they don't hesitate to spend money on players that can bring them success, you know. They are I really like their aim is, I think they are really their first and foremost their aim is to win the Premier League every season. Yeah, they want to turn it into like a Bundesliga lah, in some sense lah. So I mean, like you can see lah, you know, that the foundations of a big and a great football club are there, you know. So like I don't think that they will struggle without Pep Guardiola, because right, knowing the minds right that are behind the scenes, right, they probably have
mm,
analyzed the scenario. They probably have found the perfect guy to replace him, and that guy is going to go on to be a success because he has every asset at his disposal. He has they almost like can't do enough for the manager. You know, whatever the manager wants, the manager gets. You know, the manager wants this player, okay, let's buy him. You know, of course there are certain food players that you can't buy lah, like you know the very top players lah that want to play for
mm,
those historically great clubs. But for City, right, on like a very like 90% of the time, City wants a player, City gets the player. You know, so that's why I think right, even without Pep, right, that they will continue to be a success. Um, whether the style of football and the domination of like how they dominate the teams in the Premier League, that is another story lah. But like
mm,
I feel they would still like win and let's call it like challenge for the Premier League very strongly lah, every season.
mm, mm, mm.
Yeah, that's my understanding lah. I mean like for me like I would be it would be sad to see Pep leave lah, you know. But I suppose that's always been his like you know historically it's always been like that. Like he doesn't stay at the club for too long because I mean like he always needs a break lah. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, yep,
What
yep.
about you, man?
Um, maybe let's look at the comment. Amar said like maybe Pep will stay if City gets Haaland. I have a different view. I think Pep will stay. Um, if City wins the Champions League. Oh wait. Oh, if
Pep,
if City if City wins the league, I think he wants. I don't know. I think that's a good point from Amar, but I think Pep wants to win the Champions League. I don't think he's really arsed about the Premier League now. Like I think he's really hungry about the Champions League. Like he really wants to win it. I could see it, I could see it in the way he's been, talking about Champions League. And because previous in the previous seasons he said like, oh, the level of our players and with the champions are big. Even though City has been winning the league, the Premier League, but when it comes to Champions League, he humbles himself and he says like, "Oh, City, we are not ready to win the." He plays down Manchester City. But for this season, you see there is a difference where he doesn't do statements like that. Like I think he might he might just want to win the Champions League and just resign after that. So I think what happens after City is I honestly do not think City can maintain their success. after Pep leaves. I honestly do not think. I do not think there is anyone like Pep like could that could manage a team like this. Whatever City is doing right now is like close to supernatural. Like the kind of football they are playing and to do it consistently, it is like crazy. Like okay, as much as we say like City is great, individually there are players that are better in their position. Like if you see in other clubs, but if you compare to perhaps Barcelona, right? Like almost everyone in the team is like the best in their role in the world, right? But in the current City's team,
Mm-hmm.
Cancelo, you would say is the probably you could arguably say he's probably the best. And then,
Mm-hmm.
but Kevin De Bruyne, he's not really the best right now. Like he's not in his prime, or he's ending his prime already because of his injury. Sterling, he's not exactly the best in his role. He's like the number two or number three. If you just compare with other players from other club, you know they are,
Mm-hmm.
and you see like City, they don't have a striker. So what I see in this the team right now is they might not really have like the best players in their
Uh-huh.
position, but some Pep somehow makes it work with them and gets them to play as a unit, gets them to attack as a unit and defend as a unit and hold the ball as a unit. But for City to continue to do that after Pep leaves, I highly doubt, man. Like I highly doubt. Like I do not think
Um,
City could do that. Like it is mad to know and to understand what Pep is doing right now. But I think when Pep leaves, there will be a set of players that will also leave. I think they will just look for new pastures. Like they will just go to other clubs because I think they with Pep they probably have reached certain level of quality and
mm-hmm.
achievement. They probably leave the Premier League and go to the La Liga or German
Mm-hmm.
the German league. So yeah, I mean so like what Amar said, right? Like if that's the case, that's why he needs Haaland for Champions League hunger. Yeah, I think he wants to get Haaland in the summer,
Mm-hmm.
so that he will challenge for a Champions League for the next season. Because I think the if he wants to see how far he can get with City this Champions League campaign, at least to the final, uh, and then next season he wants to win the Champions League already. Uh, so and that might be his last season with City. Because I think that's what top managers do, right? Once they win a trophy, they just leave, right? Once they're at the prime, they'll
Yeah.
just that's what Zidane did as well. Like quite a number of them, like
Yeah.
Alex
Yeah.
Ferguson, when they feel like okay, it's enough. I've won everything that I could win. It's time for me to go. But yeah.
Uh, yeah. I mean, like obviously, like two different like sets of views, lah. You know. But like the reason why I say that they will continue to be a success is it's not that Pep came in and just turned their fortunes in the Premier League around. Lah. There's always been like a history of City winning the Premier League with Mancini,
Mancini. Yeah.
Pellegrini.
Yeah.
There's been like a foundation set in place ever since that first
Mm.
title win. So I think it was like three titles, Mancini and Pellegrini, twice. Might have been twice. Okay, but anyway, point I'm trying to make is that their foundations are there for them to like win the Premier League
Mm.
every season. Yeah, that's what I.
Mm, mm, mm. I don't know. Like I feel like for I think while the foundations are there, I think for sure they can always compete at top flight. Like you know, number one, number two. But I do not think the gap will be big with other clubs. That makes sense. Like
Okay.
like
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
guess that makes sense.
Like right now, Pep, he actually establishes a gap. You know, you could see like the way they play and the way the others play. Like there's a huge difference. It's really like an OP. Like he, I saw a tweet recently that the way Pep plays his team, he makes us look like a farmers league. Like you know how PSG is. Like PSG is at the top, and the rest are all like close
Make
to
up numbers lah.
average. Yeah. Um. I mean, Pep, Pep is Pep, right? But I think when even though the foundations are there, the most you can do is to be competitive and to be relevant in the top two. I think that's what City would do. I think the owners, the City owners, they know that as well because they know that Pep is one of a kind, and once he leaves, we just got to maintain the competitiveness and the relevance. Other than that, if they were to win, I don't think there will be glorious days, but they could certainly win a Premier League title. But it will not. It will be hard fought lah. It will not be like 10, 15 points or in the gap because I suspect this season is going to be like that. That like City is going to leave a huge gap again. Because you could see
Yeah. I
Liverpool and
mean.
Chelsea, they are faltering.
Yeah. Yeah. I think so too.
Mm,
Yeah. I mean. Yeah. I think you're right lah. Probably when Pep leaves, right, the gap between the champions and the rest, right, it's not gonna be
mm,
not gonna be that
mm,
much lah.
mm. Yeah. Amar says if PSG wants Messi to stay, they need to hire Pep. But I don't think PSG will do. Zidane is in the radar. Messi will leave to join Barca once again. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I don't think Pep is like the French. I don't think he wants to go to French. I think the next for Prep pula. The next career step for Pep is to manage a country lah, to manage a nation, a national football club or a national football team. Um, as for Pep, I think probably Spain.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
probably could
Spain.
manage Spain. Yeah, the next national player. I really think um I really think Pep's next one would be a national team. Yeah,
Okay,
I honestly feel yeah.
let's say he gets national team, right? Then after that, after he is done with the national team, what do you think the next career step is for Pep? Because
I think
like
for
he's
Pep,
been to the, yeah,
sorry,
he's
you were
been
saying he's been
to
to the
Bundesliga, Premier League, the La Liga. I mean, all that's
mm-mm.
left is legit is the um, uh, Syria
Yeah.
and perhaps Juventus Project Champions League.
Yeah, Brian saying
Probably,
that next destination Juventus Project Champions League 2.0.
uh,
Um
yeah, yeah, it's a fair point, lah. Juventus is like the biggest team in Italy. Okay, no, no, no. Actually, Juventus is it's not the biggest team, but it's the one that's always the most successful in recent
mm,
years, lah. So like perhaps, lah. And like I don't know, maybe like he could go to Ajax also, because of that connection to Cruyff.
mm, mm,
Yeah.
mm. He might actually. But I feel Pep um I think I don't know no I've been like observing his patterns of tournament and what he did in Barca and the patterns of what he's doing right now in City and also what he did before in Bayern. You could see that he's probably approaching his last days of his team manager kind of path. I think he might go into a footballing director kind of role, like a CEO,
Mm,
like like a top like a top footballing kind of guy, like a backbone of a club kind of thing. Like I would see him like in a
Do you think right he is too tired of winning already?
I actually
Like
honestly think I wouldn't say he's too tired, but I think he feels like he doesn't have a
there's nothing
motivation. There's nothing else
nothing
for him to
left, right?
prove. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
nothing left for him. So I think the next one, like I said, could be a World Cup. He wants to win a World Cup, like with Spain. Or he could go to to a Catalan club or Barca. He might be hired by Barca again to be their technical director or something like that to help with the foundations of the club, to rebuild the academy and stuff like that. He could do
Yeah,
anything.
but
I
you
mean,
see,
like,
the thing is, right? I mean, Pep is like what, 50 maybe?
yeah,
Okay, let's say it's 50, right? Like if he becomes a technical director at a club like Barcelona, lah, for example, there's always going to be like a shadow, over the manager
yeah,
because of what Pep has achieved, and
yeah,
because he's not like that, he's not very old, to maybe just like one day take over, lah. So always the
mm,
manager is gonna have. I just feel it'll be very harmful for
I
the manager's
agree.
morale, lah.
I
Yeah.
agree. I
All right.
agree.
Right.
Yeah, I agree on that. You're right. Yeah, yeah. Honestly, I think that he's quite overwhelming because of he's a perfectionist, right? So if if any club would to actually hire him, he would actually show that he's like an alpha male. Like he's very domineering,
Mm,
and he would show that he is boss in that place. So I honestly feel like he knows that as well, and he wouldn't simply walk into any club that would, because that he would simply take over for the sake of being there. So I think for Pep, um, it's looking like it's really looking like he's in his last days in City. Like probably another one more season, this season, and probably another one more season. Wants to win the Champions League, and to mark and to end this chapter by being like one of the greatest managers. And
yeah, he will go
to
down in. He will go down as one of the greatest managers, lah.
mm,
In I won't say in like City's history. I think even in Premier League history.
yeah, Premier
I
League
mean, we
yeah.
talk about Jose and Wenger and Alex, right?
Mm,
So like, he has to be mentioned, just for his achievement, his achievements alone in such a short period of time.
yeah, yeah, not yeah. Achievements is one, but he got the team playing in a certain way where it's very unique and it's very high quality.
And
It's not. Yeah,
it's
what
very
you
hard to
saying?
counter. Very hard to
Yeah, it's very
counter.
hard to counter and it's very hard to follow. Like
Yes.
it's hard to copy them. You try to play like them, it's just too hard. The way he has their fitness level, their movements, football IQ, all that is on a different realm. So that's why I think for Pep, he might he might go for the Spain national team, or somewhere, Netherlands, or um
Yeah.
he might do one of those jobs, I think, before he retires. That would be interesting, actually. Amar just, Amar with the joke, Malaysia should hire Pep to manage Harimau Malaya. That would be, yeah, that's a great idea, man. Yeah, but I mean, I do not see him going to the Italian league. I honestly do not see him going to Serie A. I
Right.
don't think he fancies the league. Not downplaying the league, or what, but I do not think he really sees the league as as something that he needs to achieve like competitively. Um, because okay, Bayern Munich is like the top club right now. Barca was the top club then. City is becoming the top club right now in Premier League. Is already a top club, but he's trying to build that on a European level as well. So you could see his pattern of decision making. I'm not sure if he would do the same, for if he was given a chance to go to Italy. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can't add much more to that. Yeah,
Mm. Yeah. I think we pretty much covered everything, Dan, tonight.
yeah, yeah.
All that
Good
we all
straight
that we
to that.
want to discuss. So guys, I mean, again, thank you for supporting us. Thank you for your comments and your thoughts. Do smash the like button if you see. Um, um, do smash the like button. Comment, maybe your last comments before we wrap up the show. One last comment, maybe from Brian. I think we have a comment here on a tangent topic to City off tangent. Will we see Newcastle competing for national or European honors in a few years? Oh, okay, domestic cups. Um,
Okay, okay, I think the only like parallel that we have is City lah, you know.
mm, 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 mm,
So like yeah, I think definitely lah, you know. If not, why would
oh,
they be? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Really, really,
mm,
they will be challenging, and they will break the top four in 5 6 years time,
mm, 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 mm,
and the rest of the historical top four have to be very scared lah,
mm,
because I don't they are not Newcastle. I don't think they are here to play lah. They
mm,
are going to they want to be successful lah.
mm.
In
I I do not think they will. I agree with you. I agree with you on they are not here to be lax. But I also feel like I think their aim could be the domestic cups. The League Cup, the
Yeah,
FA Cup.
okay. Yeah.
That is my view. Like I do not think they would go until the European level because as long as like Spurs, Arsenal, Chelsea are there, it's very hard unless they could go to European League. I think that might be their aim, right? Um, I At the same time we are talking about money, right? Like top players, they love money, and but they need to really establish a kick-ass recruitment strategy,
Mm.
and a footballing foundation strategy for the next few years, which what City is doing. Because the thing that City is doing, right? You say the foundation part, right? Is what we see in the first team, but apparently it's not just the first team. They are apparently the academy. They are the things that's been done in the back end. Their sport science are all top notch. Really, like the
Mm.
first in class. The first in class. So that's why you see the fruits in what City is doing right now. Um, but what we see right now is probably one dimensional. But I feel like for City, they are doing a lot of right things at the back end as well. So for Newcastle to really go and take a few notches up, they need to do a lot of right. Need to make a lot of right decisions, and they have to make a lot of right decisions starting now, right? They have to look into the recruitment strategy. They have to look into the academy. Have to look into like the long term, like short term, medium term, long term From a footballing point of view, a lot of it has to do with time, and right now a lot of it has to do with like sports science and the infrastructure and all that. So with the right hiring and you bring in the right people to really believe in the project and to build that infrastructure, which is so important. Sometimes you have everything, like Conte saying, right? Like Spurs has one of the best facilities in the world, right?
Yeah.
But you have the stuff, but you need someone to work it. You need someone to know how to use it, know how to bring the best out of the players through the equipments, the facilities, and the data that you have. So you need a team. So you need to hire a team that is good, right? So when if Newcastle manage to pull that off, then they are on track. If not, they might do something to get mid-table, and that's where they will stay, lah. Honestly, mm,
I see.
they will
Okay.
definitely be in mid-table. They probably compete against Leicester, West Ham, Villa, these guys.
You don't think like maybe in 10 years' time we will see Newcastle winning the Premier League?
No. Honestly, I cannot say now. I mean, obviously they always have an opportunity because you see what happened to Leicester, right? You saw what happened to Leicester last time,
I mean that's
right?
a one-off lah.
Yeah, that's a one-off, yeah. But like I said, yeah, they might do a one-off, but if they were to actually do something on a long term and to have a growth mentality and to have a growth in their footballing development in the club internally, they need to make a lot of correct decisions in a lot of areas in the club, not just the first team players, like a lot of areas like the sports science, like the data analytics, their academy area, their recruitment for their managers, their footballing director. All these guys have to be aligned and synced. Because the money is there, you just need the team to fix it properly, lah. I would say, like, put all the puzzles into the correct place. But as of now, if you ask me if Newcastle will win the Premier League, no, not really. Yeah, I do not think so.
Okay.
It's not the
I think
same,
we
lah. They have hit rich history,
revisit.
lah. Yeah,
Yeah,
they have a
yeah,
rich history.
Alan Shearer and
Yeah,
this place.
you say you want to revisit. Yeah,
Revisit like at the start of next season.
we should revisit this topic again in the coming season. But it's going to be interesting. Newcastle are already making the signings. I think next signing would be Botman. I think Botman is one of their top targets as well after Trippier. They
Mm-hmm.
want to sign Sven Botman. So he's a top class
Mm,
centre back. So let's see what happens to them. Brian say, like, provided they don't get relegated this season. Yeah, man. Like, I hope he doesn't lah. I mean, I like Eddie Howe. I hope he does well. Yep.
mm,
I think we are done tonight.
yep.
Hope you guys continue to support us, and we'll be back again next week. With this, we would like to wrap it up, and thank you guys. And
All right.
have a good rest to those who are up. To those who are tuning in from other parts of the world, maybe it's like your daytime. Good morning to you, and yep, have a good day ahead. Peace out.
Thanks, Joe.